Alright, folks, let's talk about something super important. Something that's standing between you and your dream job. It's called an ATS or Applicant Tracking System. Sounds super technical and boring, right? Well, it's not. Imagine a digital bouncer, a tough filter that decides if your resume even gets seen by human eyes or if it goes straight into the digital trash. It's that dramatic and that real. This system is a software that companies from the biggest to many medium-sized ones use to handle the flood of applications they get. The main job of this digital guard is to scan, read, and sort every resume that comes in. It's a machine. It doesn't have feelings or care if you had an amazing day or if you're the most creative person in the universe. The recruiter tells it, "Find me a candidate with digital marketing experience who knows SEO and speaks advanced English." The ATS then dives into that mountain of documents and looks for exactly those keywords, those skills, that experience. When you upload your resume to a job site, the ATS immediately kicks into action. The first thing it does is parsing. This means the software breaks your document into little pieces. It pulls out the text and tries to put it into standard groups: contact info, work experience, education, skills, and so on. If you use a super creative format with tables, columns, charts, or weird fonts, the ATS gets confused. Once the system has processed the information, the scanning and sorting phase begins. This is where the famous keywords come into play. For example, for a software developer job, it might look for Java, Python, SQL, Scrum, or Agile development. Candidates with the highest scores are placed at the top of the list that the recruiter will see. Finally, the result of this whole process is shown to the recruiter in a single format. All resumes look the same inside the system, like profiles in a database. That's why that amazing design you spent hours on might be completely useless, because the recruiter will never see it. The best file format is Docs, Word, or second best, a text-based PDF. Avoid image files like JPG or PNG at all costs. Use a reverse chronological design, starting with your most recent experience. Don't use headers or footers for important information. You need a clean, classic, and easy-to-read font for a machine. Think of options like Arial, Calibri, Helvetica, Georgia, or Times New Roman. Use a font size between 10 and 12 points for the main text. For section titles, you can go up to 14 or 16 points. How do you find the keywords? Read the job description carefully for the job you want to apply for. Write down the nouns and phrases that are repeated. You need to make sure those exact phrases appear in your resume, ideally in the description of your work experience. Don't use tables or columns to organize your information. Also, don't use charts, logos, or icons to show your skills. The most effective and recognized structure by these systems is as follows. First, your name and contact information, then a summary or professional profile. After that, work experience. Next, education. And finally, a skills section. Use clear and standard section titles. Don't use creative titles like My Journey or What I Can Do. Get straight to the point. In the contact information section, be direct. Your full name, a phone number, a professional email, and if it applies, a link to your LinkedIn profile. In the professional summary, write 3 to 5 lines that highlight your years of experience, your most important achievements, and your key skills. For each job, include the company name, your job title, the location, and the dates. Use action verbs and put numbers to your results. For example, instead of responsible for sales, write increase sales by 20% in the first quarter. In the skills section, create subcategories if you need to. For example, languages, software, technical skills. Here you can list all those keywords that didn't naturally fit into the experience section in a clear way. This is where many people mess up. They think a resume is a fixed document, a monument to their career that gets sent everywhere the same way. Big mistake. So your resume should be a living document, a chameleon that perfectly changes to fit each job opening. The first step to making it personal is to look closely at the job description. But don't just stop at the keywords. Try to understand the company's vibe, the way they talk. Is it a startup that talks about ninjas and gurus? Or is it a financial company that uses more formal words like stakeholder management and risk mitigation? If they use the term customer success, don't put customer service. Use their exact words. Having a master CV is a great plan. This would be a long, detailed document with all your experience, all your projects, and all your achievements without worrying about how long it is. Then for each application, you copy and paste the most important parts from your master CV into a clean template and change them to fit the specific job. The templates that work with ATS have things in common. They're clean, single column, and put text first over fancy designs. You won't find profile pictures, colorful skill bars, or textured backgrounds. Notice how the section titles are clear and in all caps or bold to stand out. The fonts are standard, like Calibri or Arial, and there's plenty of space to make it easy to read. I've made a resume template in Word format that's perfectly set up to pass any ATS filter. All you have to do is download it and fill it with your information. It's a blank canvas ready for you to paint your professional story in the most effective way possible. Use it as your secret weapon in your job search. The real magic happens when you fill it with strong, personalized content. Take your time to write each section carefully, always thinking about the job description. You have all the information now. You know what an ATS is, how it works, and most importantly, how to beat it. You have the plans, the tools, and even a ready-to-use template. Now the ball is in your court. It's no good just knowing things if you don't use them. Today's job market, August 10th, 2025, is tough, yes, but it's not impossible to get into. What makes the difference between those who get interviews and those who don't often isn't talent, but strategy. It's time to stop complaining that no one is calling you and start making those phones ring. My advice is don't put it off until tomorrow. Spend an hour or two this weekend creating your new master CV and polishing the template I gave you. This small effort can have a huge impact on your career. It's an investment of time that will pay off big time when you start seeing results. Your career is just one well-made resume away. Now, get to work!